Hey, this is John Carlos, and I'm here with a look at the Disney Store exclusive of the Marvel Select action figure of Hawkeye based on the Matt Fraction run. Matt Fraction's Hawkeye is easily the best Marvel book I've read in the last 10-15 years. I am a huge fan, and I'm really happy that Diamond Select has made a Marvel Select action figure of Hawkeye that reflects his look from that series. I mean, if you just look at like his outfit, like his shirt and like the symbol, they did a great job translating his whole design into an action figure. So let's go in for a closer look at his articulation and paint and sculpt and all that. The sculpt on the boots and just the paint on these little buckles here, really good work. The gray pants look awesome, but I like that lighter gray wash they put over it, which not only gives it, breaks up the color, but really helps highlight the sculpt of all the wrinkles. Then you get to the belt and his first like little leg holster, and I think, man, the fact that the little tiny arrows there have the little painted purple tips, it's really small, but really good. This technically is an accessory, but it comes attached to the figure. We'll come back to that in a moment. Holster looks good. I like the black sheen of the paint. And then the belt, again, the silver paint, which kind of bleeds a little bit there on the side, but like that silver really breaks the black. The sculpt of the pouches is good. There's even little wrinkles on the pouches, so that's great. It's kind of made of a slightly rubbery material, which allows this holster on the side to kind of shift a bit if it needs to. And man, that quiver looks great, including the little silver painted belt buckles, the purple tips at the end of his arrows. Now you got like the wrinkle on his shirt. I mean, the sculpt on this is just rad. The logo looks great. And then you get to like his arms, which have like decent definition on them. The basic black paint on his hands and on his arm here look good. And we'll get to his head, which is interesting because he comes with an alternate head, but we'll focus on this one first. He's wearing the sunglasses, which in the book he like rarely does. He mostly just wears them on the covers. So I guess if you're used to like other versions of the Hawkeye where he's wearing sunglasses like the Ultimates, or like in the movie toys, in the movie with the sunglasses. But really for this figure, it's nice they included this because he's on the cover a lot, but he doesn't really wear this. Anyway, his hair looks good. I think they did a great job sculpting it and highlighting it with brown paint against the blonde paint. Really does make it pop. Good lines, like as far as like the shape of his nose and his mouth and all that. I think this is a really solid head sculpt, but we will switch it to the extra one. But here's a look at the quiver on the back, with more arrows sticking out. Really solid work. I'm really happy with how this turned out. Now, articulation seems to be fine. You got a ball jointed shoulder, well, ball hinge, swivel at the bicep, single elbow joint, swivel at the wrist with a hinge that goes in and out on both. Now this mid-torso cut allows him to turn left and right just a little bit, but really not much. There's a waist cut there too, but it doesn't really move. It's pretty tight. So I'm lightly disappointed that this torso doesn't move much. But great range of motion in the legs, like great range of motion. He can practically do the splits. He's got a mid-thigh cut, so that's always good. Double knee joint, which is great. You got the boot cut. And you've got the hinge at the shoe and the swivel. So really solid articulation all around. Now this figure comes with a butt ton of accessories, and the most important one, maybe even more important than the Hawkeye figure himself, is Lucky the dog. If you read the book, then you know that Hawkeye number 11 is a phenomenal issue. In my opinion, it might be the best single issue I've ever read. If you don't read the book, they did a whole issue just about Pizza Dog here. And it's such a cool thing that they made an accessory of him. You can almost say that, hey, they made a Lucky action figure and it came with a Hawkeye accessory. The actual sculpt of him is really well done. I like the fact that they, sculpted in little hairlines all over, and they used like a darker brown paint to kind of highlight that. So it does kind of pop a bit. I think, man, they did a great job capturing this happy expression on his face. I like his ears that are flopping. I like his tongue hanging out. They painted his teeth. I mean, this is a pretty rad little figure. I'm not even going to call it an accessory. It's a figure. And I like his nose. I like his little snout there. If I want to be nitpicky, though, Lucky only has vision in his right eye. After issue 1, back when he was Arrow, when he was with the Tracksuit Mafia, he then became Hawkeye's. And he's always drawn with like his left eye closed, you know, and only his right eye's open. But I guess, you know, maybe that's like a little too morbid for a Disney Store exclusive. I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. But here he is, how he appeared in issue 1 with 2 functioning eyes. I think this is awesome. Now, he also comes with his bow, which does not have any kind of like bendy little string to it. It is actually made of like a plasticky or rubbery thing, so this is not the kind of accessory that you can really put and use. It is just like a prop to hold in his hand. But despite that, I think the actual sculpt of this and the use of the silver paint and the purple here is pretty damn good. I like the little circular things at the end. I don't know. I'm no bow expert, so I don't know what the hell that is. If you're an expert, you can tell me in the comments what that thingy is. But this is cool. And he comes with a bunch of arrows. 3 of them are all duplicates. They all have different heads here, but like it comes with 3 of these. I do like the tip of it though. Here's those 3. One of the problems is that they do come out of the package a little bent. Even like while they're still taped in and lined up, 3 of the little heads were bent, so that's annoying. But it does come with also 1 regular arrowhead and these other 2 alternate ones, which look pretty damn cool. And I like that they all have purple, you know, feathered ends. He also comes with this, first thing it's a gun, but it's like a little tiny crossbow gun. This is the element that was like attached to the figure that I pulled off. And you just clip it in there. And it even has like a little tiny groove that follows the groove of the rest of the top of the crossbow gun. Lastly, he comes with 2 more little body parts. He's got an alternate hand that has a little index separation point there for holding an arrow, and his alternate head, which I think should be his main head. He spends a lot of time in the book, you know, with bandages on his face, so I think it's great that they included those bandages on this alternate head. I think the eyes look good, the eyebrows look good, that little smirk on his mouth looks awesome. This is a great alternate head with the same hair sculpt, so that looks great too. Here he is with the alternate head sculpt, and I gotta say, he looks much better. Now here's the figure with his mini crossbow gun holstered at his side, and you know, you can't get the bow and the arrow hand raised all the way up to get him in a firing position, but I expected that with the single elbow joint, so I wasn't surprised by that. But you can get him into a position where it looks like he's about to load it, and I still think that looks pretty cool. It's better than just hanging down at his sides. It does give him a somewhat action-based pose. I really like this figure. The alternate head came on and off really easily. The alternate right hand, I had no problems popping that on or off. Again, I've raved enough about the book. I mean, if you're not reading it, you're missing out on one of Marvel's best books ever, and I think it's just amazing that they made this figure. I'm so happy, I can't even... Like, this is one of my favorite new figures ever. I love it. Thanks for watching.